Tonight at 6, as vote counts begin to wrap up in those key states that will determine the U.S. presidential election, we could expect to see a winner within these next few days.
And hear from students right here on campus about what they think of this year's unprecedented presidential election.
And with Thanksgiving just around the corner, one local church will be hosting a turkey dinner fundraiser. All the details where and when you can get yours.
Tensions are rising and stress is at an all-time high for those waiting in anticipation on election results. But electoral votes aren't the only thing they're counting this week. This and more, only on TV2 News.
This is TV2 News.
Happy Friday, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Connor Steffen.
And I'm Melissa Meyers. It's been a contentious 72 hours or so across the nation. As it stands right now, there is still no clear winner in the race to 270.
You're at the stage where staffers are sleep deprived and not wanting to face reality. So there will be all sorts of legal conspiracy theories. But the president doesn't have many options.
As of today, vote counting continues in those key battleground states, which will determine who will be the next president of our country. As Joe Biden leads the race with only 6 electoral votes between him and presidency, President Trump continues to make claims that he is being cheated during the process.
Karen Kafa is in Washington with the very latest on the numbers and reactions from the two candidates.
In his first appearance since the early hours of Wednesday morning, President Donald Trump came to the White House briefing room Thursday evening to once again claim without evidence that the election is being stolen from him.
It's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land. We'll see. But we think there'll be a lot of litigation because we can't have an election stolen like this.
The president's remarks came as the ongoing vote tally showed margins tightening in states crucial to his re-election bid, and his campaign made legal moves. Judges in Georgia and Michigan Thursday rejected lawsuits from Republicans and the Trump campaign alleging ballot counting problems. Former Vice President Joe Biden delivered his own remarks earlier Thursday, urging Americans to have patience with the ongoing process.
I have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners. So I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working. The count is being completed, and we'll know very soon.
Meanwhile, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, and Pennsylvania continued their vote counts, inching toward a finish that will determine who occupies the White House come January.
Hundreds of thousands of ballots have been counted so far today, and we're in very good shape, but there's still some to count.
So what does this mean? Trump is now losing in 2 states he originally deemed himself the winner of, and yesterday falsely claimed mail-in ballots were illegal votes.
It's all a confusing process. Our Vivian Hawk spoke to a political science expert to better understand what's happening.
The 2020 presidential election has been full of twists and turns, leaving everyone on the edge of their seats to see what will happen next.
I think it was closer than many people thought. There was a sense really from the polls that the race would be more easily won by Joe Biden.
Historically, Biden's lead in the polls is uncommon, since he is running against an incumbent candidate.
Incumbency gives you a lot of advantages. You get a lot of publicity. You get to direct resources in ways that might help your campaign. So, the battle to sort of win the White House against an incumbent is pretty hard.
However, this election is anything but common. To begin with, President Trump had many factors in play against him before the election even began.
The president had a lot of things going against him. So the COVID epidemic and his perceived handling of it, the impact that it's had on the economy, really the number of people who've gotten sick and the number of people who've died.
Another unusual factor of this election is the number of people that voted by mail. The two parties' outlooks play a role in whether they were more likely to vote by mail or in person.
Most of the mail-in voting skewed heavily for Democrats because the Democratic Party was cautious about the pandemic and argued strongly that we should take precautions, and early voting and mail-in absentee ballots were a good way to do that. Whereas, the president was speaking about the illegitimacy of absentee ballots and encouraging his supporters to show up at the polls on Election Day.
The ballot counting also seems skewed because different counties across the country count their ballots in a different order.
You have a situation where you have very unusual voting to begin with, and then the complexities are sort of compounded by the fact that you have these different approaches to counting. So some counties might count the mail-in first, some counties might count the in-person first. I mean, at the end, the result should be the same.
With 2020 election results still.
Thank you for that report, Vivian. This election section has proven to be quite stressful for many, but especially tough on college students.
Our reporter Kyle Vazil took to campus to see how Kent State students have been holding up the past few days. Kyle?
As voters wait anxiously for the election results, I visited some students on Kent State's campus to see how they feel about the tension arising between the two political parties.
It's been nuts. I mean, you got a lot of people voting opposite of what they would normally vote. It's taken a lot longer than what would have normally been expected.
I think Biden's gonna win. So far, it looks like he's gonna win. I think Trump's gonna definitely do the recount.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Biden's gonna end up probably collecting the rest of the states except Alaska.
As the electoral votes continue to be counted, some students at Kent State are concerned about the country's future after the election.
We need to come together as a country because no one can deny right now this country is very split just by how neck and neck this election was.
Well, you know, COVID's obviously a big thing. I would like to see more of a response to COVID. And past that, I just kind of want people to chill out. It's been a crazy year. Lots of strife, lots of just bad feelings all around.
For TV2 News, reporting in Franklin Hall, this is Kyle Vassell.
Thanks for that report, Kyle. Now some concerning news coming out of the state capitol this afternoon. Ohio breaking yet another COVID-19 record, and for the first time since the onset of the pandemic, reporting a daily case count of over 5,000. This time last week, the state reported 3,800 new cases for the day. Now, 1 week later, 5,006. Ohio's total case count now sits above 240,000 total deaths, at nearly 5,500 as well. And the same outlook at the national level, the U.S. once again set a new daily coronavirus case record. On Thursday, the country reported more than 121,000 cases, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. This a major jump from the previous record set the day before, where more than 102,000 cases were reported. The president of Guatemala says more than 50 people are believed to be dead following landslides and flooding. President Alejandro Giammattei said at least 25 homes were buried in central area of San Cristobal, with approximately 50 people inside. Rescue crews are trying to get to the area on foot because roads have been destroyed by the severe rains. Eta made landfall along the coast of Nicaragua as a Category 4 hurricane on Tuesday afternoon. It is now projected to head towards Cuba Friday and then onto the U.S. coast.
Good evening, I'm Rachel Gross with your Friday evening weather report. Currently in Kent, we're sitting around 60 degrees. That sun did set about an hour ago. The winds are coming in from the southwest at about 6 miles per hour. We have a little bit of humidity up at 63 degrees. 56 degrees right now, but feels closer to 60. And as we head into our northeast Ohio temperatures, everyone's kind of around those high 50s, kind of low 60s degree temperatures. Very uncommon for November. And as we can see right over here, this high pressure system, this is what's bringing us this unseasonably warm temperatures, this high pressure system that's sitting kind of over Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, this area around here. But as we move into the weekend, we are going to be seeing this cold front pushing its way across the nation, kind of pushing out this high pressure system, kind of bringing in some cooler temperatures once again. And then that is all I have for right now. We might be seeing some of this system moving across the United States into our region as rain showers begin early next week. I'll be back after the break for your 7-day forecast.
The city of Cleveland welcomed a handful of new officers to their police force. Details on this morning's swearing-in ceremony.
And the holidays can be hard, especially in a year that's also seen a global pandemic. That's why one local church is attempting to ease the burden on Kent residents. We'll be back after these short messages.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. The city of Cleveland has welcomed 35 new officers to its police force earlier this morning. The recruits were selected from a group of applicants who underwent multiple tests and an in-depth background check. Mayor Frank Jackson administered the oath of office outside of City Hall as the 146th Police Academy was sworn in. City officials say the new officers will be assigned to the 5 neighborhood police districts across the city of Cleveland.
People have been facing many hardships due to the pandemic since the onset of it, the beginning of this year. And as the holidays roll around, they show no signs of stopping. But a Kent church is looking to help out come Turkey Day this year. Faith Lutheran Church is offering $10 to-go meals this Thanksgiving that include roasted turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, vegetables, a roll, and dessert. Oh, and of course, cranberry sauce as well. Orders must be placed by November 12th, and pickup is at the church November 17th, 4 to 6:30.
In today's show, weatherman Al Roker announced this morning that he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Roker shared the news on the Today Show, stating his cancer was found in September after a routine medical checkup. He said it was caught early but is a little aggressive, so surgery is expected. Roker says he feels optimistic and hopes to be back on the air in about 2 weeks.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, I'm Rachel Gross back with your weather report. Looking statewide, we are seeing more of this 50-degree temperatures, a little bit higher up here in Akron at 58, 50 down here in Cincinnati, and then looking nationwide, we are seeing those higher than average temperatures all across the nation. This yellow is 70 degrees all across the United States right now, and now the average temperature for November is around 50 degrees, so we are unseasonably warm here. And then looking overnight as well, throughout the night, we are going to have mainly clear skies. Low will be seen around 6 a.m., but for the most part, around 50 degrees throughout the night. Winds coming in from the south-southwest at about 5 miles per hour. And like I said, we did see that sunset around an hour ago as we set our clocks back for daylight savings last weekend. Heading into the rest of your week, the weekend this weekend is going to be very nice, 73 degrees, 71 on Sunday. Heading into Monday, you're going to see that high peak at about 75 degrees. Mostly sunny. The clouds are going to come back on Tuesday, but still going to be pretty warm. Then on Wednesday, your rain and showers and cold temperatures are going to move back in. 59 on Thursday, and then heading down to 50 around Friday. Those clouds rolling back in. But fortunately, this weekend should be nice, warm, and sunny for some final fall activities before the cold and winter snow set in. Now that's all I have for weather tonight. Have a great weekend, Portage County.
As more jobs are being added to the U.S. amidst the coronavirus pandemic, America is seeing a boost in its economy, and much more than economists expected.
And CVS Health named a new CEO, the announcement expanding the ranks of women leading Fortune 500 companies. We have the latest details.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him, he's gotta come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So. I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. The latest job numbers are out, and jobs were added for the 6th month in a row. The U.S. economy added 638,000 jobs last month. For October, unemployment dropped to 6.9%. That's according to the monthly jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. While there's progress, the economy is still down 10 million jobs since the start of the coronavirus pandemic.
And CVS named Karen Lynch as its next president and CEO, expanding the ranks of women leading Fortune 500 companies. CVS Health announced Lynch will be elevated to CEO on February 1st. She will replace Larry Merlot, who is stepping down. This will make Lynch the 40th female chief executive on the Fortune 500 list. Lynch is currently the executive vice president of CVS Health and president of Aetna, the insurance company CVS bought 2 years ago. CVS also reported a 3.5% rise in quarterly revenue, which was better than expected. It also raised its full-year earnings guidance for 2020.
Starting next month, anytime you download an app, Apple will require the app's developers provide information on their privacy practices, meaning users will get a better idea of what's going on inside an app before downloading it. Much like nutrition labels in grocery stores, users can read about some of the data the app may collect and whether that data is linked to them or used to track them. Developers will need to self-report the privacy information when submitting updates to existing apps or new apps beginning on December 8th.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
The Kent State Golden Flashes football team started their season with the tough-fought victory over Eastern Michigan on Wednesday, but today the team held a press conference looking ahead to their game this Tuesday.
Head coach Sean Lewis also used the event to talk about his own personal health and the COVID-19 pandemic. Matthew Mergen has the full report in sports.
Hello, I'm Matthew Mergen, and this is your TV2 Sports Report. Kent State football is back as they won on Wednesday 27-23 against Eastern Michigan University. Coach Sean Lewis spoke today in a press conference about his battle with the coronavirus and the team's upcoming matchup.
We've had a few that I think, just like the general population, that have been shut down because of contact tracing and have had it and recovered. Myself being one, so we're good. I was really aware of it all along, and really cautious about all of it. It's not something that, I wanted. It's not something that I want anyone to experience. Went through it, fortunate enough, came out the other side. Everything's all right. But, follow the guidelines. Wear your mask. Keep your social distancing. Again, VG is a much improved team. It's not the team that we played a year ago, and regardless of what the scoreboard was, the other night for them, they got some dynamic playmakers. They got a really good staff, and I know that they're going to be prepared. And we got to come with the right mindset to handle our business because we're going to be in a fight.
The Green Bay Packers took on the San Francisco 49ers for Thursday Night Football in the NFL last night. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers in this one. Here's Aaron Rodgers. He finds his star running back, Aaron Jones, for the short pass, who jukes his way for the first down. And then the Aaron Rodgers show would continue throughout the game. Here's Aaron Rodgers throwing an absolute dime to star wide receiver Davante Adams, who makes an incredible catch. Green Bay goes up 7-0 here early in the game. Then Rodgers leading his team down the field again and finds wide open Lewis in the end zone, and Green Bay would take a 14-3 lead here in the second. And then Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers-like things. Throws an absolute bomb to Marquise Valdes-Scantling for the touchdown, and Green Bay would go up 21-3 at the half in this one. And then more Green Bay dominance here in the second half. Aaron Rodgers finding Davante Adams wide open down the sideline. Davante Adams had an incredible game for Green Bay. And then Rodgers once again finding Davante Adams, makes an incredible catch, spin move, and Green Bay just ran with this one. Green Bay wins 34-17 over the 49ers. The NBA is back. After the Lakers won the title on October 9th this year, the NBA season is scheduled to restart on December 22nd. The season will be 72 games long this year as opposed to the normal 82 game schedule, and players will be given a 2-week period during the middle of the season to rest their bodies. Player testing will continue as it is important to keep the safety of the players and the general staff in mind. That's all I have for sports. I'm Matthew Mergen, and this was your TV2 Sports Report.
Today marks the first day of Starbucks releasing their holiday drinks, but more importantly, their infamous holiday cups. How you can get a free reusable one before it's too late.
And how about some Christmas classics to go along with that warm Starbucks holiday pick-me-up? ABC Family just released its 25 Days of Christmas schedule, and we'll provide you the scoop, and we'll be right back.
Virus pandemic and its
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Welcome back. Now, let's be honest. Uncertainty stresses people out. With the future occupant of the White House in question, many are coping with the stress by eating. CNN's Jeannie Mose looks at some of the oddest concoctions people have been consuming waiting for election results.
When it comes to a candidate's lead,
it has been shrinking.
But you know what's not shrinking? Most of us. We are shoving. We are shoveling, and we are guzzling. Just one glass, forget.
Votes that have not been counted.
Think of all the calories that have not been counted. People are proudly posting examples of their stress eating, from pie to pumpkin seeds to chocolate pastries to glistening meat. Folks are stress eating eggs at midnight. I don't care that it's ugly. It is a stress eating dream come frickin' true. Odd combinations abound. Tequila and sugar cookies? I combine stress eating and stress drinking into a wine float. Google says fries near me and liquor store near me are at all-time highs in search. Celebrities are stressed like us. Take Chrissy Teigen.
Stress cooking, everything's fine, everything's fine.
Ryan Seacrest posted himself eating onion pizzas while Cardi B preferred to puff.
Stress eating has gone from brownies to ice cream to just pouring raw cake mix down my throat.
One person posted, "I'm on track to consume 10,000 calories in 36 hours. Is this normal?" The Tina Fey cake-eating gif was a favorite. Take it out on the cake instead of your political nemesis.
Yell it into the cake.
The person who posted this photo suggested if you put the chocolates directly on the pizza, it saves a lot of time. It takes more than a fortune cookie to predict the future of the election. But with all the stress eating, I may reach 270 before either of the candidates.
Calm down. And then
Jeannie Mose, CNN.
You need to dip a grilled cheese into the cake.
New York.
Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year, meaning holiday program has started a little bit early. Holiday movies will be playing the entire month of November as part of Freeform's Kickoff to Christmas. Freeform will then transition into its 25 Days of Christmas beginning December 1st. For schedules for both Kickoff to Christmas and 25 Days of Christmas, visit freeform.com.
And the holiday feeling is hitting Dunkin' Donuts as well. Its new holiday menu includes 3 festive latte flavors and a new breakfast sandwich, now available at all locations nationwide. Dunkin' has also redesigned its cups, boxes, and gift cards to fit the holidays. The packaging has one central word on it, cheersin'. The company says it symbolizes coming together in both celebration and appreciation.
And Starbucks has unveiled its new cups for the holiday season. Starting today, customers will have their drinks served in one of these 4 festive cups. Starbucks first rolled out its seasonal cups back in 1997. They're meant to drum up excitement for the coffee chain. This year's theme, Carry the Merry. Starbucks said in a press release it's about people carrying the cups out into the world as messengers of joy. Also today, you can get a free reusable version of the holiday cup. To qualify, you just have to order one of Starbucks' seasonal drinks. And if you're in the mood for a different type of drink, Tesla, yes, Tesla, is now selling branded tequila. Tesla tequila is packaged in a lightning bolt-shaped bottle and priced at $250. The alcohol was aged for 15 months in French oak barrels before being moved into the hand-blown glass bottle. If you wanted a taste, well, you are out of luck because the product already sold out within minutes. Tesla says orders are expected to be shipped in late 2020.
So Melissa, now with all of this Christmas talk, I have to ask, are you one of those people that you have to wait till after Thanksgiving to get the Christmas decorations, the music?
Absolutely not. The second it turned to November 1st, I went full Christmas mode. I didn't decorate or anything yet, but I'm in the Christmas
I have
spirit.
to agree. I think it was honestly probably September for me. And I'm just kidding.
Well, Thanksgiving and Christmas are my favorite time of the year, so it's fine. And that'll do it for tonight's edition of TV2 News. As always, thank you for being with us.
For continuous updates and coverage on all things Kent State, Portage County, and election 2020, be sure to connect with us on social media at TV2KSU. I'm Connor Steffen.
And I'm Melissa Meyers. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 6.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be, with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all. We approach this problem of reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.